Good morning, student. This is the next lecture regarding the process of disinfection of the water. That is the second part of the disinfection, that is the part related to chlorination. We will see the process of chlorination in detail in this lecture, that how the chlorination is achieved in the process of disinfection in water treatment process. Now, why the chlorination is widely used and why chlorination is consistently used in the or consistently adopted pro disinfection process. Because chlorine is widely used because it has the effective at low concentration, and that is at the low dose of the chlorine. It is cheap in nature, forms residual if applied in sufficient doses. Generally, because these are the three major points, that is, it is effective at low concentration or dose, it is cheap in nature, and forms residual presence if applied in sufficient doses. Second, if what chlorine is applied as, how the chlorine is applied, generally it is applied in the form of gas, that is most commonly in the water treatment process, and in the water treatment plant it is applied in the form of gas, that is the chlorine gas. There are chlorine cylinders are available, and these cylinders carry gas, chlorine gas, and the chlorine is applied in the form of gas, that is, it is the most common disinfectant. Similarly, hypochlorite, that is the bleaching powder generally used in the rural areas, and that is its chemical composition is CaOCl2, that is its bleaching powder is known as the hypochlorite, that is in the chemistry world, and generally is used in the rural areas for disinfection purposes. If we have to choose the chlorine. Now, chlorine is a strong oxidizing agent, and it oxidizes enzymes of microbial cells that are necessary for metabolic processes, thus inactivating or it destroys its microbial cells. Means it is you have to understand that chlorine is a strong oxidizing agent, means it oxidizes the enzymes or the enzymes of the microbial cells, that which helps the microorganisms to move or to grow further, that are necessary for the metabolic processes for the microorganism. Thus it inactivates or it destroys the microbial cells. This is the most important point, that it is a strong oxidizing agent and it destroys their microbial cells. Now, how the chlorination reaction takes place, that when the chlorine gas reacts with water to form first hypochlorous acid and then hydrochloric acid. Now, how this takes place, when the chlorine is added in the water, this reactions takes place, that is the HOCl, that is the hypochlorous acid, and the remaining, that is the HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. Now, this hydrochlorous acid, that is hypochlorous acid, again dissociates to hypochlorite ions and hydrogen ion. Now, we have come across the word just now, that is the hypochlorite ion, where in the word of, that is the hypochlorite, that is in the word of bleaching powder. So bleaching powder is in the form of the hypochlorite, that is the readily available after the reaction of the water, when the chlorine is react in the water. So hypochlorous acid dissociates to hypochlorite ion, that is H plus ions and OCl negative ion. Okay, the dissociation of the HOCl is a function of the pH, means it is a function of the pH, means if the presence of the pH, if the the presence of the pH dissociates the hydrochlorous acid in the form of H plus ion or OCl ion. Now, the pH will always be present in the water. That will show the nature of the water, that is either it is acidic or basic in nature. So that is why the value of the pH shows the how the hypochlorous acid dissociate, or how the hypochlorous acid dissociate in the form of, that is in the quantity of. Okay, so that it will directly depend upon the pH of the water. So we will see the later the how the pH plays an important role for the dissociation of the hypochlorous acid. Now, one important thing or one important statement here, that is the hypochlorous acid is 80 times, you have to understand this term, or you have to remember this word, that is hypochlorous acid is 80 times more effective disinfectant than hypochlorite ions. Now, means only the presence of hypochlorous acid is more effective than, that is how much effective, that is the 80 times effective than hypochlorite ion. If it is simply present in the water, in the presence in the form of HOCl, then it will be more effective in the form of it will be more effective disinfectant than hypochlorite ions. Means this hypochlorous acid, this hypochlorous acid is responsible for the killing of bacteria or the microorganisms present in it. But this is the hypochlorite ion, that is the bleaching powder, that is this bleaching powder, and this is the water, that is the hypochlorous acid which is present when the chlorine gas is added to the water. And then this HOCl and OCl negative is means that the difference is that HOCl is more 80 times more effective than hypochlorite ion. Okay, chlorine will appear in water in three forms, means three forms will appear, either element chlorine, that is Cl negative, that is the free chlorine, HOCl, that is hypochlorous acid, and OCl negative, that is hypochlorite acid. Means after the application of the chlorine in the water, it will appear in the water in the form, in three forms, depending upon the pH, that how it reacts with the chlorine and how it forms the chlorine is that it will appear in the three forms, that is chlorine, elemental chlorine, that is on the free chlorine, HOCl, that is the hypochlorous acid, and hypochlorite acid. So this is the chart which shows the reaction or relation between the temperature, that is the 20 degrees centigrade, this is a graph line, that is the 0 degree Celsius, percentage of HOCl, that is in the on the left axis, on that is a hypochlorous acid, percentage of OCl negative, that is the hypochlorite acid, and the application of the pH value, that how the pH value shows the presence of the water or presence of the HOCl ion and OCl negative ion. So these graph, the conclusions of this graph is given in this table, that pH, that and its remark, that less than 5 pH only elemental of molecular chlorine is present. That is, we have just now seen that three type of or chlorine is present, that is element chlorine, that is free chlorine, HOCl, and hypochlorite. Okay, so if the pH is less than 5, then only free chlorine will present, only free chlorine, that is element chlorine is present. If the pH level is between 5 to 10, both HOCl and OCl negative is present. Okay, and if the pH level is greater than 10, only hypochlorite ions are present. These are the conclusions when the chlorine is added to the water, then chlorine will appear in the water in this form depending upon the pH of the water. So what are the conclusion? Then if the pH of the water is less than 5, only elemental chlorine is present. The pH of the pH of the water is between 5 to 10. HOCl and OCl negative is present, and if the pH is greater than 10, only hypochlorite ions are present. But we have just now seen that the HOCl ions are more 80 times effective than the OCl negative ion. Therefore we have to maintain the pH between 5 to 10. And again, below pH 7 concentration HOCl is more, that is that it remains between the 5 to 10, but below the pH 7 the concentration of HOCl is more. pH of water should be less than 7 to prevent ionization of hypochlorous acid. Means we have to keep the pH of water should be less than 7 to prevent the ionizations. Means we have to keep to ionize means we have to dissociate, to prevent the dissociation of hypochlorous acid for the effectiveness, or to maintain the effectiveness of the chlorination process. Now, what is the chlorine demand? When chlorine is added in water, it reacts with organic and inorganic impurities. The amount of chlorine utilized for this is known as the chlorine demand. There may be various types of impurities present, maybe either organic or inorganic impurities is present, and the amount of chlorine utilized for this for the disinfection process is known as the chlorine demand. And the remaining chlorine will appear as the residual chlorine, which serve as disinfectant to kill the pathogens in future or in the running water. So doses, demand and residual, this is the short summary I am given below. That is doses. The dose means the amount of chlorine added, means how much chlorine we are going to add or we have added. This is the dose of the chlorine. Now what is demand? The amount of chlorine needed to oxidize the materials, means we have to kill that material or kill the impurities which is present in the water. And the residual, that is the amount of chlorine remaining after the killing of bacteria or killing the microorganisms. So this is the relation between the doses or demand and residual, that is the residual chlorine is equal to doses minus demand. So how much we have added, how much is it consumed, and what is left is the residual chlorine. This is the basic relation between the chlorine demand, chlorine dose and residual chlorine. So this is about the how the chlorination, this is the kinetics of chlorination, that how the chemistry of the chlorination is takes place and what is why it is necessary. Now I am moving further. So this is the part of next part, that is the forms of chlorinations of application of chlorine, that how the chlorine is applied should be applied by the following forms: as bleaching powder or hypochlorite, as chloramines, as free chlorine gas, as chlorine dioxide gas. So one by one we will see the, that is first bleaching powder. Chemical formula is CaOCl2. Available chlorine is generally 20 to 30 or 40%, means this is the chemical formula, that is CaOCl2, that is the bleaching powder. Generally the chlorine present in the hypochlorite, that is 20 to 40%. We have generally assumed that the optimum chlorine present is 30% to 33%. When it is added in the water, following reaction takes place, that is the this is the bleaching powder. When added into the water, that is H2O, that is 2 times of hypochlorous acid is formed, and again this is the CaOH, that is calcium hydroxide. Now that this 2HOCl, that is the hypochlorous acid, acts as the disinfectant, means when the bleaching powder is adding in the water. Again, as it contains only the 20 to 40% of chlorine, it requires higher transportation cost and space for storing, and it requires more dose of the chlorine to for the optimum killing of microorganisms, and therefore use in the small scale, that is in the rural water supply scheme. Okay. Similarly, this is the second application of the chlorine in the form of chloramines. Means the free chlorine can react with the compounds such as ammonia, proteins, amino acids and phenols that may be present in water to form chloramines and chloroderivatives, which constitute as combined chlorine. Okay. Means the free chlorine, which is can be react with any compound, that is especially with the ammonia, proteins, amino acid and phenol, and that may be present with the in the water to form the chloramines and chloroderivatives, and which constitute as the combined chlorine, and that combined chlorine possesses the disinfection properties. Now, how the reaction with ammonia takes place? This is the ammonia and this is the hypochlorous acids, and then this reaction takes place, that is the monochloramine takes place, that is the NH2Cl plus, that is the remaining is water, that is known as the monochloramine. And this again, this monochloramine reacts with the two times, that is the hypochlorous acid, again gives the formation of the dichloramine, and again gives the remaining is the water. Second, this dichloramine reacts with the hypochlorous acids and gives the formula and gives the formation of the nitrogen trichloride, and remaining is the water. Means we are getting the we are killing the bacteria, and we are getting the again remaining it as nitrogen trichloride, because it again continuously destroying the bacteria by in the form of monochloramine, dichloramine, and again lastly it comes into the nitrogen trichloride. So what should be the pH range when the chloramines formed? If the pH range should be less than 4.4, trichloramine only formed. If the pH range is 4.4, dichloramine only formed. And if the pH range is only 5 to 10, both mono and dichloramine is formed, that is in the equal quantities at the pH of the 7. And if the pH is greater than 8.5, only the monochloramine will form. Means at the higher pH, monochloramine form, and as the pH reduces, the quantity of the chloramine is increasing, that is monochloramine, then dichloramine, and then again it is mono and dichloramine, and again dichloramine, and lastly in the trichloramine. And it is the inverse reaction, that is that the as the pH is decreasing, chloramine is increasing. So what are the advantages using the chloramines? More effective than chlorine alone, prevents taste and odor. Water treated with chloramines causes less irritations of eyes and odors. No danger of overdose. Less chlorine is used. Means we have to use in the form of with the addition of the ammonia. Now, if we are applied in the with the free chlorine, generally applied in the gaseous form or liquid form, 2.48 times heavier than air. Means the free chlorine is 2.48 times heavier than air and 1.44 times heavier than water. These are very important terminologies which is generally going to asked in the MCQs types examination, that is maybe in the MPSC, UPSC, that how much times of chlorine is heavier than the air and heavier than the water. That is answer is 2.48 times heavier than the air and 1.44 times heavier than the water. It is a strong oxidant, forms residual, byproducts are formed, that is THMs, and works under this specific pH. Now moving ahead, that is the chlorine dioxide. Chlorine dioxide is created by mixing the solution of sodium chloride and chloride. chlorine dioxide is generated on site by mixing these solutions, that is the uh, uh, sodium chlorine dioxide reacts with the chlorine, free chlorine, and gives the formation of chlorine dioxide, and again is the NaCl, that is the salt, sodium chloride. Now what is the advantages? The advantages of the chlorine dioxides are it is the strong bactericide and viricide over the wide pH range. It forms a slightest residual in the distribution system. It does not react with the nitrogen to form chloramines, and it does not react with the organic matter to form trihalomethanes, and chloroforms and boroforms are trimethamines. So these are the disadvantages means of the chlorine dioxides are its high cost and its tendency to create chlorate and chloride, which are potential toxins. Chlorine dioxide is used for taste and odor control as well as for the disinfection. So these are the generally used applications of the chlorine we have generally used. So basically in the normal conditions or in the normal practice, we have observed that in the four methods, that is the application of the chlorine, the bleaching powder or the hypochlorite is used in the rural areas. Secondly, in the chloramines, when the quantity of the turbidity is higher in nature, therefore ammonia and the water is having the natural amines or ammonia is present in the, therefore the chloramines is applied, and then mostly generally free chlorine gas is used. So widely free chlorine gas is used for the disinfection of the water. And lastly, we have observed that the chlorine dioxide is also used with the chlorine sodium dichloroxide. So these are the methodologies or the applications of the chlorine in the following forms. Hope you have understood the applications of the chlorine and its theory and its kinetics and its reactions associated with it. If you have any doubt, please mention in the comment box. I have tried to convince, or I have tried to cover all the details. Now the next is the forms of chlorinations, which we will cover in the next lecture. I am signing off. Thank you.